Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for a moment of silence.
Hello, Homestead. It's Friday, April 29th, and time for an all-new edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Austin Render.
And I'm Sarah Disher.
Today's show includes stories about our busy parking lot and what can be done to avoid the dilemma of not finding a parking spot each morning.
The spring musical debuts tonight in the auditorium. Reporter Katie Marr gets you the details about Crazy for You and what the show will be like this year.
The SAC CMT department has narrowed the choice of next year's student laptops down to the final two. You'll find out what those are and when the final selection will be made.
And Taj Curry fills in as guest host of the Sports Corner this week, where you'll get stories over our unified track team as well as Madison McConaughey's look into club sports teams, this week being rugby.
We'll have all those stories and more, so stay tuned for another edition of HHS In Depth. We start today's show with a look into the parking lot situation at Homestead, why it's so busy this time of year, and a few other options students may not have known about. Here's HHS In-Depth reporter Joey Quell.
Recently, some students have had trouble finding parking spots in the morning, forcing them to park further and further away from the school. Some students have even resorted to parking in creative yet unauthorized parking spaces. However, Mr. Kins offers us a simple solution.
The lot that runs in between the school all the way out to the stadium and out by the soccer stadium becomes completely packed in the morning. And I can't wrap my hands around why a student would want to park there as opposed to the old sophomore lot when you have less congestion and it's an easier walk. Actually, it's a safer walk to go down the sidewalk.
Total, there's roughly 290 spots available to students every morning in the old sophomore lot, near the Environmental Center. Also, the walk from the sophomore lot is especially scenic. In addition to its aesthetic qualities, the walk from the sophomore lot to door 4, the attendance office, is actually roughly 100 feet shorter than the walk from a parking spot near the football stadium. Also, the senior lot will not be making a return anytime soon, if at all.
We did away with the senior parking because we had students that were in and out during the day, and then we had a lot that was closest to the doors that wasn't being utilized in the manner in which it should be. That old senior lot would only be 40 to 50% full at the end of the day. So we looked at it and we're like, why shouldn't they be allowed to park there?
However, improvements to the lot are up in the air.
Parking lots are designed the way they are is to slow people down, not to speed the process up. So that is always going to work against the student driver that wants to get out quickly because it was never designed for them to get out quickly. It was designed for the process to go slow, that way you can't build up a lot of speed. That being said, would there be a change? There could be one, but one that's safer but may offer more access entrance points for students in the future. It wouldn't speed the flow of traffic, but it would ease the flow of traffic.
So there you have it, Homestead. When parking next week, be sure to keep in mind that there are better alternatives. For HHS In Depth, I'm Joey Quell.
Prom tickets are now on sale starting at lunch. Seniors tickets are $7. Tickets for juniors and other guests are $25. Be sure to get your tickets early because prices will go up the last week of sales. Prom will be held on Saturday, May 14th at the Grand Wayne Center downtown, and the theme is Wonderland.
Anyone who is requesting to bring a guest that is not a Homestead High School student to the prom, you must pick up a request form from the Discipline Office. This form must be completed and returned to the Discipline Office no later than Wednesday, May 4th. This form requires the signature of the principal or administrator of your guest school.
The spring musical Crazy for You is set to debut tonight with encore performances tomorrow and Sunday. To learn more about this year's musical, reporter Katie Marr caught up with some of the student performers at a rehearsal earlier this week. Here's the story.
For this year's spring musical, the Homestead Theater Department is tackling Crazy for You, a 1992 Tony Award-winning Gershwin romantic comedy. Though this may appear to be the classic tale of boy meets girl, the cast explained to me that things get complicated quickly.
Crazy for You is about a banker named Bobby Childs who absolutely hates his job, is miserable, works with his mom, but he loves dancing. So in attempts to get him back on the banking track, his mom sends him out to foreclose on a theater out in Dead Rock, Nevada. So he goes out there and ends up meeting Polly Baker, falls in love, and it's all good until she finds out who he actually is and that he's here to take her dad's theater, and she gets really mad at him. So in attempts to kind of win her back, he dresses up like Bella Zangler, and it gets a little complicated from there.
Senior Avery Heatwell and junior Colin Davis play the love interests the musical is centered on.
Plays about an investment banker, Bobby Child, who hates his job and loves to dance, and he gets sent to Dead Rock, Nevada to close down a theater there, and then he meets the love of his life and changes his mind and decides to save the theater by putting on a show.
I play Polly Baker, who's this really strong-willed, tough cowgirl out in Dead Rock, Nevada. She's the only woman within 50 miles of surrounded by all these cowboys, so she's very tough, but she kind of has this softer side to her. Her dad really wants her to get married, and she's just not about that life. So it's really interesting to see her kind of develop when she meets Bobby Child, who she ends up falling in love with.
Since Mrs. Maluli's departure, Mr. Shaw has taken over and directed the production.
Oh, it's huge. He's such an amazing director, and it's really fun to get to work with him, especially after working with him for show choir for the past 4 years, and now seeing him as a director from last year and this year. It's kind of a new side of him, so it's really fun to work with.
I participated in the musical because I crave Mr. Shaw's approval and attention.
Crazy for You's opening night is tonight at 7, but you can catch this fun show tomorrow at 7 as well, and Sunday at 2. Tickets are available at the door for $10. For HHS In Depth, I'm Katie Marr.
The Euchre Club is proud to announce that the End of the Year Tourney and Madness Euchre Tourney have been combined into one day of after-school fun. Join them for the annual Homestead Euchre Tourney on Tuesday, May 3rd at 2:45 in room 212. Someone will once again be crowned Homestead's Euchre champion. Will it be you? All staff and students are invited that day, and play will end by 4 p.m. Contact Mr. Arata or Mrs. Gamble with any questions.
The speaker for April's Biomedical Club is Tracy Brooks, a pharmacist and professor of pharmacy. She is scheduled to speak next Wednesday, May 4th, after school in Miss Barron's room, room 215. This will be the last scheduled meeting for the school year. Any student who is interested in this career is welcome to attend.
You may recall that Homestead students will be getting new laptops for next school year, but did you know the CMT is down to only 2 to choose from? To get you an update on the laptop situation, here's reporter Riley Kamala.
Earlier in the school year, HHS In Depth made a feature on the possibility of new laptops for students here at Homestead. Now, after much testing and trials, CMT has narrowed the choices to the Lenovo T460 and the HP EliteBook 840.
We wanted to provide a better quality laptop. Those laptops that students are carrying now, the 4 years was stretching their length of good service. We wanted to make sure that the quality was of a higher grade level, and both the Lenovo T460 and the HP 840 EliteBook are both of the higher quality level that we come to expect and that we want to put in the hands of students. Windows 10 is going to be in the latest, greatest other softwares will also be on these laptops. These laptops are thinner and lighter than the previous model by almost 2 pounds lighter, which is significant. A lot of the students who evaluated them had to verify in some cases that the laptops were even in their backpack. We're at a point of looking at working with the vendors in both situations for pricing and to include special features like a touchscreen. And once we get those pricing, we will go to the board. I will go to the board on Tuesday, May 3rd with those recommendations.
Students should expect to see what their new laptop is for the 2016-2017 school year around May. Regardless of which laptop is picked, students should look forward to this much-needed update. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Riley Kamala.
Stop by Anime Club next Monday, May 2nd, to discuss the question, what is anime? Just bring yourself and your thinking caps to room 725, Mr. Cogdale's room.
Art Club members, are you feeling a bit stressed with tests and projects? Go out for some art therapy on Tuesday, May 2nd for the final Art Club meeting of the year. There will be a sidewalk chalk contest with prizes, weather permitting.
The Sports Corner is back with a look into our unified track and field team, and Madison McConaughey continues her series of profiling Homestead's club sports teams, with this week's being rugby. Here's Taj Curry, this week's Sports Corner guest host.
Hello, Homestead. I'm Taj Curry, filling in for Austin this week. And it's time for another edition of the Sports Corner. This year has certainly been a special year for Homestead athletics. And one of the bigger stories from this year is that Homestead now has a unified track and field team. This week, Austin got a chance to catch up on how their first season is going.
Over the winter, a group of Homestead students put together a project called Champions Together. The final step to this movement is the Unified Track Team.
The Unified Track program came about as a result of Lee Lonzo. He talked to us about the banner program, and as a result, with communication with Lee Lonzo, that group was sold on the accomplishments that they did in the winter, and hence Unified Track. There were a number of other kids that were involved with the banner program, or outside the banner program, that said, hey, how do we get involved? Now we have those kids involved with Unified Track. Unified Track is going to be amazing.
The bonding between athletes and partners has been a great benefit for those involved in Unified Track.
I think my favorite part about the team aspect as a whole is just seeing each group of students, all the groups of students coming together and just forming a team, getting those relationships going, and just seeing the relationships really bloom between all of the athletes.
I got to know all of the Special athletes here at Homestead, and it really made me want to get involved more, made me want to get to know them and form relationships, and I think they've changed my life more than I've impacted theirs, so that's been really exciting.
Unified Track has given these athletes an opportunity they hadn't had before, and they are loving every moment of it.
Originally, I didn't really like to run that much. I mean, I still don't really, but I mean, I sort of enjoy it a bit more than I used to. I just really like trying to run and trying to improve my time.
I'm good at running and going, beating everybody around, and I like to over there.
Amelia and Jenna are great.
Good job.
And because of Unified Track, Homestead now has 7 official IHSAA spring sports.
We have it because it's the right thing to do. In this department, we support all the IHSAA sports. Unified Track is an IHSAA sport, and we need to get on board and have our team out there. It's the right thing to do for our athletes and their partners, and Homestead High School in the community.
The Unified Track team is racing for the first time tonight at East Noble High School. They will have other home matches as well this season, so make sure you get out there and see Homestead's newest group of athletes. Reporting for the Sports Corner, I'm Austin Render.
Thanks, Austin. We now continue Madison McConaughey's Club Sports series. This week, she got out to visit the rugby team.
In my new ongoing series of features on club sports, this week we go inside the scrum with the rugby team. You may assume rugby is just a different take on football, but there are many different aspects to rugby.
It's very fast-paced. It's like soccer where it doesn't stop, so it's 60 minutes of continuous play time. Football, it stops a lot and they have pads. Rugby, there's no pads. It's just continuous hitting and getting the ball out, so it's pretty fun to watch.
There's a lot more action happening in rugby, which is a big reason why a lot of people actually watch a lot of sports. You know, you watch football for a lot of big hits, or you watch basketball for a lot of big highlights. Well, rugby, there's always action happening. There's always something big that can happen out of nowhere. You know, you always got to stay on your toes because you never know what could happen in the middle of a rugby game. One team can be doing good and then they have a whole nother half to, you know, come back and win a game from nothing, and it might be an underdog team. So it always keeps you on your toes.
The rugby team has started off the season strong and hopes to continue that.
Our season's starting off pretty good. We're 1-0. We won our last game against Leo. We have a pretty solid team. We got a lot of returning players that know the game, and then we also have a lot of new players who are learning the game.
Big focus will be beating Carroll. They're last year's state champions, so going to state and winning that, it's a big deal.
Despite their strong start, the team feels that there is still room for improvement in their game.
We still have a lot of things to put together as a team because of the new kids coming in. We got to train them to be prepared for anything out there. A goal for us, just do as best as we can with the team we have and just keep learning and keep going through the season well, fighting to win, make it to state, hopefully win state.
We need to get the new players in there, handling the ball. A lot of the older guys are taking control and handling the ball a lot more and not giving them to the new guys. So we need to worry about getting the ball out quicker, getting it out to the new guys, and scoring more.
If you have a chance, make sure to go out to the field in front of the Jorgensen YMCA to catch tonight's game at 6, where the Homestead rugby team will take on Angola. Now back to the Sports Corner. For HHS In Depth, I'm Madison McConaughey.
Thanks, Madison. We want to wish all Spartan athletes and teams good luck tonight and this weekend. And for students to get out and support Homestead Athletics. That'll do it for the Sports Corner this week. I'm Taj Curry.
Well, that wraps up this edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Austin Render.
And I'm Sarah Disher. Thank you for watching today.
And now here are this week's Pictures of the Week. Congratulations to this week's winners, senior Logan Reed and sophomore Morgan Disney.
To submit your photo for Picture of the Week, just email a high-resolution photo with your name and grade level to hhsindepth@gmail.com.
Today we leave you with a song exclusive to Homestead's radio station, The Point 91 FM.
Have a great weekend, and we will see you again next week.